Well, thank you for that, Philip. That was a wonderful interview. Next up, we've got Richa, who will be interviewing David Guestiena, a prominent host on WAMC, and where he's going to be talking a little bit about his busy life. Let's watch.
Hi, welcome to Impact on the Arts. I'm Richa Khandelwal Bhat and back with another great guest here on Impact. My friend David Guestiena, a host and a senior producer at WAMC Northeast Public Radio. Welcome, David.
Well, thank you so much, Richa, for having me here. And it's just so exciting to be sitting and talking with you on camera for folks to see and hear all that you've been doing and I've been doing in the region. And I can't tell you how exciting it is to be here today. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much. And it's just that the truth is that I'm probably sitting here because of the inspiration that you gave me when you were doing masterminds, and you were just the whiz, and you were just, I think you know everything about everything. How do you do that?
That is unfortunate that you have put me on the spot like this, Richa, because I'm totally and completely humbled, absolutely, by those words that you've just offered to me. I certainly enjoy masterminds and working with those young folks who are competing at the high school level and showing their knowledge. I don't know everything, not even close. In fact, I sort of think about life as a constant learning process, as you know. And to have interacted with you and to see your talents and your energy that you brought to Masterminds and putting that production together and keeping us in line and doing what we needed to do so that we could get that production done. All volunteer, by the way, and some amazing people that worked together to get that accomplished. Really a team effort.
That's right.
So thank you again for those comments. Very humbling for you to say that I inspired you, but I have a feeling since you've already been doing some of this work in your home country of India that you were re-inspired.
Oh, re-inspired. I think, yeah, I would take that. But, you know, again, before I go further, there's something about you that is very unique, I think, from the other journalists that I've seen out there. You have a lot of information about pretty much every field, and you are producing shows on science, on personalities and biographies of people. So you know a lot about history, and I've seen at Masterminds you knew about pretty much every subject out there. They say that men's minds work as boxes and women's minds work as wires. So I could never imagine doing that, because I would just keep connecting and I would just keep connecting and I would just keep connecting and just got lost and never be able to read so much and get it all right there. How do you do it? How do you do it?
I have the perfect job for this, Richa, right? I get up every morning at 3:11 in the morning.
Oh boy.
Ouch. But then once the coffee hits me, I'm awake and moving and reading and listening to and watching and keeping track of just about everything that's quote happening in the world. So as news organizations are reporting, and that's certainly not everything that's happening, but I'm keeping track of current events every day, and I'm seeking out multiple sources for that information. And not only the Associated Press wire services and the local papers and their websites and the blogs now and the social media, but also international publications like and programming like the BBC that I hear coming in every single morning, and we're paying attention to world events. When you are literally, to me it's so simple, when you are opening your eyes and your ears, you're paying attention to what's happening in the world, you're going to seem pretty smart.
Right.
Because when you look at, unfortunately, and you've got a presidential campaigning going on in GOP primaries and a presidential election coming, the lack of knowledge of a lot of folks, because they've either turned it off or they just don't have, well, maybe they didn't grow up reading a newspaper, or they don't turn to news because they think it's depressing. Or
it's depressing. Well, that's something I've said to you some time back, that there was a time I just stopped reading the newspaper. I just stopped it. Yeah. And I have to really force myself to get back to it, because so much of the news out there is so negative, and it's just so demeaning, and it's just so stressful to just go read a newspaper. So how do you keep that energy? Because you're also into education and you mentor young people, and you have to stay right there and be energetic and still be in the world of news. How do you do it all together?
I work out every day. I run on the treadmill. I do push-ups and sit-ups, and it may sound simple, but really exercise. You probably didn't think I was going to go in that direction.
Yeah.
But I knew as soon as, in fact, as soon as I started doing morning, and I've been a fairly active person and working out and active in even just, you know, playing ice hockey in the wintertime, or, you know, hitting a wiffle ball around with my nephews in the summertime, or, you know, but staying outside and being active. But once I took over Morning Edition and I felt what that schedule was like, getting up at 3 o'clock in the morning, I knew I needed to have a routine that kept my energy level and kept me healthy and kept me really able to accomplish the many tasks that I have to accomplish every day. Because as you say, not only am I doing Morning Edition, but I'm producing several other programs. I'm teaching a course at the University at Albany. I have to keep my responsibilities in line and organized, and that comes much better when you're feeling good. And believe me, you exercise, and like I say, I run a couple of miles a day with a little bit of a calisthenics routine, and I can feel, because I come home from work about 1 o'clock in the afternoon.
Wow, that's a tough routine to have, right?
And I get on that treadmill, I run, and the positive energy is just rebuilt in your system.
It comes back to you. And
you're ready to fight again. You're ready to attack the day.
That's right. I think as a broadcaster, I want to know more about your life as a broadcaster.
Sure.
And you're so successful at it because you're, as I said again, you know, last time that I saw you on Masterminds, and also that the shows that you're producing are so varied. It's so important to have that discipline.
Oh, well.
And a routine. Tell us about that, and how would you inspire the young you know, aspiring broadcasters out there?
Well, the fact that you get up every day, that you learn, there's something new. Every single day of my life, I get up and there's something new. That's the definition of news. So nothing's the same. That's very exciting. You don't know what you're going to get. For me, being live on the air is very exciting. And there's the butterflies that come with it that are necessary in order to help you focus. But then when you get comfortable and relaxed, like I am now, after having done it for many years, there's a certain responsibility to the audience. You know that you're the person that's in that chair every day, and they're expecting to hear your voice. And they're expecting to hear what the news is, what the weather is.
That's right.
And you feel proud of that, and I certainly do. And I'm honored, really, to get up every day and walk into the radio station, being certainly a public radio station and all that entails. It's a great mission, and that mission is what guides me every day. Now, as far as my individual responsibilities, you've got Morning Edition every morning from 5 to 9. Then, you know, I get off the air and I go into my producer role, my senior producer role. I'll have a program called The Media Project, which many people are familiar with around the region, which airs on Sunday nights and Monday afternoons on WAMC. With Rex Smith from the Times-Union here in Albany, the editor, Alan Chartock, the CEO and chairman.
The wonderful Alan Chartock. I love that guy.
He is amazing.
The way he raised the money for the oh my God, I was like, he is relentless.
Speaking of which, fund drive coming up February 6th. You know, $1 million we have to raise now. It's very easy to get there. 1-800-323-9260.
I know that number.
Right, but Alan's energy. Now you think about, you know, there's a motivation, right? The work ethic that he has, and there's an example for you to follow. And then, you know, I've had my own other examples in my life. My parents, who were both in education and both had strong work ethics. And of course, that work ethic, as I was just saying, as it extends into the day, may involve producing the Media Project, or one of the other programs that I work on, the Legislative Gazette, which is a statewide show across New York State. I host that. I put I gather the stories for it. I put it together. I edit it. I produce it. We have a wonderful, wonderful program hosted by Alan Chartock called The Power of Words, which is all about these wonderful and inspirational speeches that we all have heard in our lifetimes. And we've put a whole year-long series together, though. That's one of my proudest accomplishments. A series of documentary interviews with the wonderful folk icon Pete Seeger. Again, another very proud accomplishment.
You're also working on something, you know, something science-related, and also...
Correct. Just assigned a new responsibility with the best of our knowledge, our national, international program. Distributed through Armed Forces Radio out of over 143 countries worldwide, and I have the honor of working on what is called an Origins of Life segment for the program, which is an educational program, and I'm
You're
basically
working with some scientists at NASA and RPI?
they are all
Yeah?
brought in through RPI and through a grant, and these scientists are on the cutting edge of researching life on Earth. Where did it come from? How did it generate? Did it come from space? I just talked to a scientist who studies comet fragments once they hit the Earth, and he looks at the chemical compositions to separate out what is from the Earth to what has come in from space.
Wow.
And that's just one of the examples. There's a science camp of young middle school students from the capital region here who competed in a competition with their other peers to figure out, the mission was Mission to Mars, 2013, and they had to figure out how they were going to get to Mars and discover whether there was life on Mars. And they had to do this whole presentation, split up into teams after doing their research, being educated by scientists and teachers, and going on field trips to various locations to help imprint science in their minds, and I get to
Wow.
interview the team and
All
come
of
up
those
with a
people.
segment.
And at the same time, who knows, you know, some of the young people that you may be mentoring today may go on to become astronauts.
Correct.
And they may be people we will be waving from Mars.
Yes, well,
Yes,
it's
thank you so much, David.
Well, it's an amazing opportunity to do what I do, and I'm just so thankful for it.
Yeah, and I'm thankful to you for coming to our sets today and talking all about your work. It was fascinating, and I wish you a lot of success. You have been in the industry for 19 and a quarter years. I
Yes.
wish you another 35, 45, 75 years.
If I'm lucky. Now you've
Lucky.
inspired me to go on further. How do I get this? How do I get a program like this?
Come back to Impact and let's talk more.
Thank you, Richa.
Thank you, David. So that was David Guestiena, and we will see you in another segment, another show, another week of Impact. So keep watching.